Hello everyone! Today let's together understand how to coat a canvas with epoxy resin if it's an oil painting. I have a whale painting here. You'll see it closer in a moment.
It's oil painted.
It's been sitting here for about a week and a half. It's dry but still has that sheen that says the painting still needs to dry. Anyone who works with oil knows that it doesn't dry in a week and a half. It has a much longer polymerization period. However, I'm going to share a big secret with you. You can cover oil even a day after applying it. Oil isn't acrylic. It doesn't dissolve in resin. Those who have covered acrylic work know that if the acrylic isn't dry, it gets tinted in the resin. That is, oil will hold its pigment and stay as you placed it, even if you cover it with resin. Of course, if you are going to move it around the surface, you'll certainly smear the drawing, so it's better to wait at least a week before covering oil work. But how acrylic work, like oil work, needs to be protected before you coat it. I do this with spray varnish. You can buy glossy varnish, you can buy matte, acrylic spray varnish, anyone that you like, that you are comfortable working with. Cover and protect yourself, protect your hands, because now we will work with spray varnish, then with epoxy resin, respiratory tract, hands, clothes, and surface. We protect everything.
We also protect, but I will tell you this later at a distance of 40 to 50 centimeters from your work. Do not keep it in one place with quick, sharp movements because you will thicken it. We distribute our aerosol. In the meantime, I need epoxy resin thick deluxe from Artsola or Resin Pro. If anything, I have a promo code Natirum for a 10% discount. Need it? Mix it well, guys. Check the level of your surface. Mixed and we don't let it stand. We just do our process at a calm pace. The acrylic should dry for us. Now I will prepare stained glass pigments and stones, all for foam to finish my painting. I'll have two layers. The first layer is foam and inlay with stones on the bottom.
The second layer is finishing. Let's go, guys. Be sure to mix, especially for beginners. I advise mix the resin in a transparent container. See if you have any such pearl strings or veins. Nothing. This should not be like this, except bubbles, because the two components mix and bubbles appear from active actions. But you can put the resin near the heat for a few seconds and the bubbles will quickly go away. See another point. The resin polymerizes faster in volume. That is, in a narrow form. If you need the resin to stand a little longer, if you finish some elements, then pour the resin into a wide volume, into a wide container. I don't need it. I need the resin to gain viscosity because we cover the finish only with the resin that has gained viscosity. So now I'm mixing and separating myself from the resin, literally 5. G for the white pigment, and the rest of the resin I paint stained glass. Yes, we need to do. And at the request of the client, there should be a straight surface of sea blue. So first I add bright blue. This one I will mix it. The main thing is that it is not dense, because if it is dense, then it will cover your entire drawing. Here's the most important task. Yes, great. And now I'm going to drop blue ink. Drops probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 drops. Mix and carefully on the surface without scratching the canvas. We distribute our resin and I bring it up to the end and raise my palm. So guys, now I wipe off the excess resin with a wet cloth, clean it gloves, let the resin stand for a while. I don't remove the bubbles now, because if I'll remove the bubbles, my resin will soften and run along the ends, and I don't want it to go away on the end. I want the ends to be matte, and I will start to inlay the bottom. And then I'm going to the top to make foam. So guys, I always start with big stones. I've got these black ones and mirror ones. I've got brown ones like this. I'll distribute them first. I don't put everything to sleep. But yes, I add volume with my light underpaintings. And if it's really big stones, I remove them. They are not really needed here. So now the smaller black ones are smaller. So white, I've got some white corals here. In the same way, silver, look guys, according to the distribution, the higher the work is closer to the shore, the lighter, yes, the deeper, of course, the darker. That's why I don't add white here. I have silver here. Silver can be a little bit like this, all over the bottom. And I'm mixing, well, I'm not going to add silicone now. I'm not going to add rubber. I don't want such thick foam. There will be a lighter option. Exactly this kind of foam that makes you think somebody just jumped right in. It's as soapy as that. But for our white resin needs to be really well infused and dense, not spreading out like a spider web, but maintaining its shape. Generally, when crafting a seascape, you need to ensure your resin is properly infused and dense. Then your sea will come out well. I've heard often from students, I made an amazing sea, but it ended up foamy and disappeared. That's because you didn't allow it to thicken properly. And folks, if you're using a regular home hairdryer, warm it up for 15 minutes before mixing your resin. If you're using a construction grade dryer, it self-adjusts the temperature, no need to preheat. But with a regular dryer, the airflow should be warm, allowing the resin to gain viscosity and density. You want it to be well heated and softened so it spreads as needed. All right, guys, my resin is nice and warm now. You can draw waves. Since I have a sketch already, it's not hard to decide where I'll place a wave. I'll make one right here. Obviously, it's important to not make too many of them. We've opened your drawing so you can move it away from here. Take a look. I purposefully put a highlight on the upper snout so that foam gets there a bit. That's it for now. So let's see how the foam acts. Turn the speed to setting 2. The temperature needs to be warm but not hot enough to burn your hand at a 45-degree angle. Seems like we're layering our foam onto the previous resin layer, and you can blow this resin layer in several directions. But it appears as if you don't have to make a wave because it's not the right kind of environment for a wave. Here you can blow in 2 directions. Just look how beautiful the air bubbles are. That's all. I'm leaving it to polymerize.